Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Mullins Over Music Podcast. It's episode 94 with my friend and the vocalist of the band Careful Gaze, Gabriel Reasoner. Now, I know you guys are going to love this one. We may have even, talked a little bit about what's coming up in the future. So, listen carefully. I know you guys are going to enjoy this one. Check it out. Welcome, everybody, to the Mullins Over Music Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Austin, and I'm here with a special guest. I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you.
What's up, guys? This is Gabe from Careful Gaze.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Well, as always, we start the podcast off with two very important questions. The first one is the fun fact question, because you remember when you were in school and you got to a new class and they'd be like, you have to stand up, state your name, and either what you did over the summer, which doesn't apply here because summer hasn't happened, or give us a fun fact. That
hmm
was all in preparation for this podcast. I don't know if you knew that or not, but it led
Well,
to this moment.
I'm glad I was prepared for it.
Me too. So, fun fact about yourself. Let me hear it.
I would have to say that my left arm is slightly longer than my right arm, and the reason for that is because I blew it out of its socket while playing Duck Duck Goose with my nephew.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, and it was never quite the same after that.
That's an intense game of Duck Duck Goose.
It was. It was very intense.
Hey,
And don't play it in the rain.
oh, that was
That's what I
that's
came away with.
dude, Duck Duck Goose gets intense.
Yeah,
Like
it
people
can,
are
I
like,
guess.
yeah, well then, I'm gonna be thinking about that all day today now.
Yeah, and next time you play, you're just gonna live in fear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, our next important question to start off the podcast is the fun question, and I've got a great one for you. What is one mystery of the universe you'd want the answer to?
Mm. I mean, the universe. I don't know if this would apply, but I'd like to know. I'd like for us to solve the Mandela effect. I'd like
That
to
that
know
is, yeah,
what
that'll
that's
work.
all about and if it's actually if we're actually just like phasing through different timelines where Berenstein Bears is spelled differently and where there's different actors in movies and things like that, or if we're all just really stupid.
Yeah. I'm leaning toward the stupid part.
I
Not
think
because
so.
I think the cool one, not because I don't think the first answer would be cool, and I'd like
Yeah.
for that to be real, but I mean, you've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of people. We know stupid is as stupid does.
Yes. Yes.
Well, let's move on to some fun music questions, because that's what the people are here for. Let's go all the way back. Take me as far back as you possibly can.
Okay.
When you first got into music, what really drew you into it and how you became the Gabe you are today.
Well, I started out playing music for people at a pretty young age in nursing homes and hospitals. I would go with my family on Christmas Eve. We would always go to like a specific floor of this hospital that I in Iowa where I grew up that I lived by, and we would do Christmas carols. We would play like probably every other Sunday, sometimes every Sunday at nursing homes. So I was just like playing harmonica um, and playing hymns, singing hymns for people, which was pretty boring, but it got me used to getting out there and playing music. And I was like, I think I want to do this not in front of like dying 86-year-olds. And that ended up leading to me getting just more into actual like rock music, metal music. And then I joined a band when I was 16, and my parents were not excited about that. Um, and ever since the age of 16, basically, I've been in one way or another in bands and performing live, and just kind of never looked back, never stopped since.
Okay. That's awesome. I also used to do that when I was younger too, so
You
I get
played for the dying old people too.
yeah, I played for the dying old
Nice.
people. Old
There's
people really like music.
Yeah, they do. And one time I remember there was this specific guy I would always see. This is maybe sad. But there was this specific guy I would always see, and he wasn't there, and I was like, "What happened to that guy?" And they're like, "Oh, he breathed in an M&M, and he's
What?
like he's in the ICU." And I was like, "Damn, I hope someday I don't I don't accidentally go from just breathing in an M&M."
Yeah, that's a wild way to go.
But R.I.P. that guy. I hope that the music, the hymns brought him some joy
Yeah.
while he was still hanging out.
I hope he enjoyed M&M's to his last breath.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't have an eternal rest of hatred toward M&Ms.
Right. Yeah. There's a timeline where he exists still, and he just fucking hates M&Ms.
Hey, it wouldn't have sent him to the ICU if he didn't like M&Ms.
Yep. Exactly.
That's wild.
Hmm.
I love it though. Um, let's get into some specific fun music questions because you guys got music. We
Yeah.
like music. I want you to tell me what your favorite song you guys have done is, and I want to know what your least favorite song you've done is.
Okay.
Doesn't
That's
mean
a
you hate the song, by the way. It just means
Yeah.
there's one at the top and there's got to be one at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Released or unreleased?
Let's do released,
From
unless you
released.
got a
Okay.
really interesting story about an unreleased one
Yeah, I mean, there's
that you could share.
definitely, I would say that probably both my favorite and least favorite Careful Gaze music lies in the unreleased category.
Okay.
Um, because my favorite stuff is the stuff that we have just finished that we have not put out yet. Um, and I do think that that is for sure the best stuff we have ever written and recorded. And my least favorite is probably also some of the songs that were B-sides where we maybe we're trying something really weird. We typically write probably 30 songs for each album, and then we chop it down until we have like 10 or 11. And so there's inevitably always something in there that you're kind of just like, yeah, this is just not it. And there were some things we were trying where I was like, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is what we want to do. So as far as what is actually out in the world, I would say I have a really soft spot for our song "We Don't Get a Lot of Things to Really Care About," and
Okay.
that came out. That was a one-off single that came out in 2024, I think. Um, and that song, maybe 2023, but that song was really important to me. It was something that I mostly wrote and put together on my own, and it was at a very pivotal point in the band's history. We had member changes going on. I was going through a lot of shit in my personal life, and we kind of just we went on this tour, and it was a really eventful, chaotic tour. So many crazy things happened on it, mostly bad. But we did kind of like a documentary style music video. Just I got like a camcorder and I was just filming everything on the camcorder. So we did a music video for that song when we got back with that footage, and I think that song has a really special energy. It is a lot more chill than a lot of our music, but it is also just very like straightforward, heartfelt. I would say our my least favorite of released music. Um, It would probably have to be something off of our 2019 or 2020 albums. There's a few
Okay.
songs on there that I feel like just due to maybe like our limitations at the time, like didn't get fleshed out in the way that I fully envisioned them to be. Um,
I think I have a guess of what one it might be if you go off the 2019 album.
yeah, what do you think it is?
I think it might be Hate Coffin. But that's
I
that's just that's my vibe that I get. I
uh-huh.
mean, I think the song's good, but if I were to pick one that I think you would like the least, it would be that one.
That one I don't mind actually. And the reason I think I don't mind it is that we have played it live a lot occasionally over the years. And
Well, that's
kind of
part of
just
why I would say it's one that you dislike.
and we've brought it back to a way where it's definitely more that so the 2019 album was interesting because at that time um not all of us lived together or like lived in the same state, which is a
Yeah.
fairly common thing for bands to do. But basically like the way that we recorded that was like one guitarist was there doing guitar parts, and then the other guitarist came up to do parts, and no one from the band was actually there in the studio.
Yeah.
And so they ended up like they're both great musicians, but they ended up playing stuff that was like pretty the tones were pretty different there.
Yeah.
So a lot of U2 Will Rest has kind of a very strange like difference in gain with the two guitars, and that is because like it's two entirely different uh chains, it's two entirely different amps, it's entirely different types of guitars. So I think that that was a song that Hate Coffin would benefit from having like a more uniform approach and like tones that were better matched and higher gain and everything. That's how we would have done it now. But it also kind of has like it very much captured like the spirit and energy of what the band was at the time. So it's not something I would go back and do over. Um, but it is something that I think is very much just yeah like a indication of where we were at as a band.
I can see why you'd say that.
Yeah, I think like a lot of stuff just kind of comes down to what happens in the production and mixing process too.
Yeah.
So I think there's some stuff where we maybe just didn't quite get it with the person with whoever we were talking to, or we just didn't quite get it to sit how we wanted it to sit, and we eventually were like, well, that's close. So um, that would probably be the reason for like any of my least favorite stuff that we have out.
Okay. I like that answer. Very well thought out. Well, I want to expand a little bit from that, and I want to talk about your influences, but I'm going to turn it on its head a little bit.
Okay.
I want three musical influences, and two of them of the other ones out of the five influences are going to be non-musical influences.
Okay. Um, three musical influences.
Yeah,
I would say The Cure.
I can definitely
Um,
hear that.
yeah, yeah, The Cure would probably be, I think, the influence that makes the most sense. Um, and I think it's interesting because I think with some influences, it maybe got me to a certain point of making music and writing music, and then I don't really have like a connection to it anymore. So I think there are some that I would like mention that aren't necessarily like true to they don't still influence me today really, but they influenced me and were kind of a part of me getting started. And I think another band uh for that, The Cure is still relevant to me. Like I'm still listening to The Cure all the time, but I think a band where I don't maybe care as much about them and what they do now is Emery. Um, but that got me into screamo.
They're such great people too.
Yeah, they seem like cool guys. I did like a meet and greet with them like when I was probably 18. They were doing like a 10-year anniversary of the Week's End, and
Yeah.
my friend and I drove like 8 hours or 10 hours to Detroit, and we did the VIP thing where we went and got dinner with them and saw the show, and it was really awesome. But that was like portable CD player, disc in the portable CD player, listening to it in my room at night, being like, I was listening to the song As Your Voice Fades, and when it like kicks in and the screaming comes in, I was like, man, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then I showed it to my friend and I was like, isn't this like dumb and funny how they sound like when they scream? And then we kept listening to it, and it literally took like 2 days. We were like, wait, this is actually sick. So it was one of those things where initially I was kind of clowning on it because I didn't understand it. And then the more that I listened to it, I was like, there's actually a lot of really cool stuff here. And I would still say that the first like 3 to 4 albums from that band are pretty much untouchable. Like there's pretty much nothing that I would say needs to be done differently about those. Like they're very well done.
Yeah.
So
I
that
really
that would
like their
be,
last album though.
what one is that?
Rub Some Dirt on It.
Okay, I did listen to that one. And I think it's just kind of one of those things, like they're still objectively making stuff that's good. I just don't think I connect with it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Um but they're still, props to them for still they're out there in their tracksuits. They're all like old and wearing tracksuits on stage, and they're doing the thing still.
Oh yeah.
I don't
And
know if when I'm their age I'll be doing stuff in a tracksuit or not. I can't say. I
that's
might be
fair.
dead.
Fun fact, they are working on new music.
I believe that. I do. I feel like they've never stopped putting music out either. Then maybe that's like maybe that's why maybe I needed like them to go away and come back for me to feel something, or I don't
Yeah.
know. Um,
More
and then
like Under Oath.
probably yeah. Oh God, I was listening to Under Oath's latest album at the gym. Man, that's it. That's a rough one.
You don't like it?
No, no. I was like, this sounds like Imagine Dragons produced this. And I'm not against, bands doing the modern thing and trying to put like a higher production level spin on it, but it just felt like very to me it felt very, I was like, this doesn't sound like they care. This just sounds like they're trying to hit streams. But uh I don't know. That's maybe me being cynical.
No, I can see why you'd say that.
Yeah.
I mean, that album is definitely, even compared to the last one, was kind of like really different,
Hmm.
like the one before it, which
Yeah.
I did enjoy.
Yeah, I liked that one better for sure. And I would say Under Oath could even possibly be one of those bands. That's not the one that I'm gonna say, but they're in there for sure as far as influences go for those first few albums with Spencer on them. Those were definitely ones that I was listening to a lot. And I would say though, Let Live is my
Ooh,
third
that's a good
influence.
choice.
Yeah. Um, my friend Aslan, who plays bass in Careful Gaze, we have known each other since we were probably 15, 16. That was that first band that my parents were like, damn it, why are you in a band? We were in that band together.
Yeah.
And we drove down to Texas from Iowa to see Enter Shikari with Let Live opening at this venue called The Door. And I had never heard of Let Live, had no idea who they were. Fake History, I think, had been out for maybe like a year or something. Um, and I was just absolutely like blown away, locked in the entire time. It was just like, this band has an energy that I have never seen before. And I loved Enter Shikari at the time, but they did not compare set wise, like energy wise. They were still great, but I could not get over Let Live. And ended up playing with them in like 2015. They were, I think it was like whenever The Black is Beautiful was getting ready to come out. So actually, I think it was maybe before that, but we ended up playing with them, which was super cool. Um, and now they're back, which is also awesome. But I think they have for sure influenced like performance energy with live performance, and like putting in a really raw feel, trying to retain that in the music. I think that they've influenced me a lot for that.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
And then non-musical influences, I would probably have to say Religion,
Okay.
and Religion and Grief. Because if you those would be 4 and 5. Because if you go over the Careful Gaze current catalog, it is all either about one or the other, basically. And I grew up in a very like evangelical Christian home. Did not really grow up aligning with it even as a child, and even less so when I became an adult. And just have seen and heard and experienced a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, that is not it. So a lot of our music is kind of influenced by that, and a lot of what I have written over time has been influenced by that. Um, and then similarly, when it comes to grief and loss, um, that is another thing that has highly, highly influenced what I have written lyrically.
Okay. I like that. I mean, you can definitely hear it in all your music. It is almost always one or the other. There are a couple songs that you could go, neither of those apply, but
Mm-hmm.
not to say that that's a bad thing. But, it's a little more few and far between as opposed to those two ideas.
Yeah. And also, like, I am not a fan of religion as a whole, but I went to Spain last year, and I got to tour like the um why am I blanking on what it's called? I got to tour the monastery up in the mountains,
Yeah.
and they have just so much cool art and symbolism. And um like the Black Madonna is this statue that they have that they hid away during different wars, different crusades, to keep it from being stolen when they were like raided, and they brought it back. So there's just like these really cool pieces of symbolism that go in with religion, that even though I'm like, man, I don't support a lot of what it stands for, a lot of what religion as a whole stands for,
Yeah.
some of that shit goes hard.
Yeah, you could say that again. Well, I want to get a little deeper here. And this next question, don't think of these as bad things. This is good. I call this the guilty pleasures of music. This is stuff that maybe you're not embarrassed to tell people you listen to unless you are, and then I want to hear it because that's hilarious
Mm-hmm.
and good content. But think of it as music that people wouldn't expect you to listen to.
Okay.
So give me a few of those. Tell me why you like them so much.
Okay. Stuff
Like,
that
are you
people
secretly a Swiftie?
I'm not. While I have been to the Eras tour, I did find myself at the Eras tour. I am not a Swiftie. I think it's been harder and harder to respect Taylor Swift as time goes on. But Muna opened for Taylor Swift. I like Muna a lot. I feel like people maybe wouldn't always expect me to listen to Muna.
Okay.
Um, when I guess when I think of things where people would maybe be surprised, it's stuff that like doesn't really sound like anything we do um musically. So I would say another one of those would be Earl Sweatshirt. um
Okay.
he is one of my favorite artists for sure. I really like his lyrics, are amazing. His flow and how he phrases things and how he writes his bars are just, it's just really, really well done. um and I've been a fan of him for a long time. I like the album that he did with The Alchemist, I think like a couple years ago. So that's definitely one. I am into, which is maybe again not surprising because I said The Cure is one of my main influences, but I'm into a lot of like 80s new wave, dark stuff, goth stuff. And
Yeah.
while not goth, there is a band that is pretty new wave adjacent called Prefab Sprout,
Okay.
that has an album called Steve McQueen that I think is one of the best albums of all time. Um, and they are very much like just 80s pop, really well composed pop songs, rock songs. And I'm a huge fan of them. Got really heavy into them a few years ago. Um, so those are definitely ones that people would, I think, be surprised to know about.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're speaking my language with new wave and like 80s pop rock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Police and Huey Lewis and the News was new wave. I enjoy those two an
I,
unreasonable amount.
yeah, I covered for some reason when I was like 17, I decided I was going to cover So Lonely by Police, by the Police.
Okay.
Um, at least I'm pretty sure that's by the Police.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, and I like a piano vocal cover.
Yeah.
It was not good, but I had a fun time.
You know what we should do? We should do a cover of it.
Bring it back.
Yeah. I'll do the music. You got to sing it.
Okay. I can't. I'm not gonna do what I did last time and try to impersonate Sting. But
Yeah, that probably never works out.
no, it wasn't. It was not a good choice.
He is on tour at the moment, though.
Just by himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his backing band, but
He's with Earl Sweatshirt.
that wouldn't be surprising. But yeah, he's doing his solo stuff and then some of his Police stuff.
Oh
He's gonna be here in July, and I'm thinking about going and seeing him if the tickets aren't astronomical.
yeah. Then it's if it's not like $400 for a GA.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
doing it at the outside venue.
Okay.
So they got the lawn seating. As long as
What's
that's like under $80, I'll be cool with it.
okay? Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
Anything more than that, and I can't really be like, yeah, I should go see it. No offense to Sting, but he's not playing with the Police. So
Yeah, that would be that would make it probably. I assume prices jump quite a bit.
yeah. I would pay a decent amount of money to see him play with the Police.
Yeah,
But by himself, there's two other guys that we're missing.
yeah, not quite the same vibe.
What do you think about Rush getting back together? Since we're on the topic of bands that getting back together.
I mean, fuck it, guys, get your bag. I honestly are all wait. Who is the drummer of Rush? The original drummer,
Neil Peart.
Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a different lineup,
It's she's a
obviously.
she's Russian?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so they didn't just auto. So it's a non dude drummer.
Yes.
I can get behind that choice of picking somebody that's maybe not like a stereotypical uh replacement that you would expect for a band like that.
And they've got two other members.
All right. I support them, I think, in getting back together. Would I go? Probably not. But good for them.
Tickets are currently sitting at, since I'm right here. Jesus. Um,
Yeah, we
there's
got Ticketmaster pricing here.
yeah, it starts at $173.50 for a nosebleed. Yeah.
Sick.
Oh, wait, hold on. I've got a better one. 110 for row W.
Row W. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't I can't speak to every venue's layout, but sometimes what I like to do is a little bit of you buy like the cheapest ticket possible, and then you do a little bit of an exploration. You do
Yeah.
a little bit of a mission to find a better seat. If you see like a section that is like not where they don't see a lot of people. So I did that with Kendrick Lamar and SZA when they came. Bailey, our guitar player, and we went and saw them, and we had just like the worst seats, just like so far up. And then we saw like this section that was kind of to the almost the rear of the stage, but you could still see the stage, and there was a screen on the side, and there was like
Okay.
no one over there. So we went over there and sat, and then a bunch of other people had the same idea and came, and it was chill. I liked that. I like to do that.
It was good.
It was good.
See, I wanted to go see them, but I think I was working that day. Like I was doing something
Yeah.
that I couldn't make it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that next time.
Yeah, it was really cool. I wished as I was there, I was like, I wish I could have seen uh Kendrick also during a past album, cool. Like one of the earlier albums, but it was really, really cool.
Okay. See, I've always wanted to see Kendrick. I think he's really good.
Yeah,
So, you know,
really worth
as
it.
as long as he keeps putting out music, I'm excited to see what he'll to keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's get down to some nitty-gritty stuff because I know you guys got gear. I know you have gear. I want to talk about gear because we don't talk about it enough. What gear you guys rocking?
So we are doing everything through modeling apps now.
Okay.
So it's like a, I think each one of our, I think, and bass all have ones. So bass is rocking. We've got one guitar on quad cortex, and then the other one is one of the maybe line six ones.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, so it's kind of a mix of all of the effects and things that would normally be effects pedals for the most part all run through that. And then I am doing all of the sound design and stuff. I'm doing that, and I use a controller and I use various software. We're not doing that stuff live right now, like we have that in the tracks, so that's like mostly composition stuff. But
Yeah.
I a lot of this new album that we just finished are basically are just finishing like a Blade Runner vibe as far as like the synth stuff and sound goes. So I did research into what Vangelis used and what was used in other soundtracks and things that are similar to that. But a lot of it on CS80 plugin emulator from Arturia.
Yeah.
Arturia just makes like really cool synth
They make such cool
programs.
things.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff has been Arturia. Getting really nerdy with our ambient stuff, including the ambient album we last year, was made with Sky Keys, which is a very reasonably priced, price, all kind of like bedroom producer came up with it.
Yeah.
Plugin that's really cool and
I
create
love
like
I
lo-fi
love a
shit.
good plug-in.
Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, like best case scenario, I was on stage with like a full synth setup. But when you are touring and loading every and in and out every night, and you're doing it all yourself, and you don't have like a big entourage and roadies and shit, that's not always the most realistic. So,
No.
um, the plugins that I have, the software that I have, gets for sure gets the job done because it's like very quality samples.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been using. I use an electro voice microphone. I used to use. I've never really been like a huge Shure person. I used Sennheiser for a long time, and then electro voice came to a job that I had and did like a demo mics, and I was interested and ended up having one stop working on tour because I took it and it to crash my drummer's crash, and it broke, and so I like wrote them a warranty thing and it immediately sent me another one. So props to
That's
them for
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. um I am a drummer, and I'm not going to be the drummer tries to like describe someone else's gear without fully knowing, because I feel like Lars would hate that.
Of
I
course.
will that our drummer Lars, he plays southpaw, which is really interesting to see.
Okay.
So his snare is on the other side. So it's like a mirror. The kit is essentially mirrored from what you would normally see. And in the studio, cool thing that we hadn't really done a ton of before, where each song for the album, we had like three snares that we had narrowed down that they all work for album sound overall, and that there's just like little differences between all of them. So we snare do we think needs to go on this song? Probably this one. And we did that just depending on what it felt like the song needed.
Okay. I like when people do things like that because, not every song needs the same snare.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes you need a little bit more openness to the snare. Sometimes you need it tight, Tuco from Breaking Bad going tight, tight, tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
You gotta have some variety there.
right.
Well, I love plugins as much as the next guy, so I have to ask you, what's your favorite plugin to use?
Mm. Um, are we talking like instrument plugin or are we talking like effects plugin?
Let's do one for each,
One for each. Um,
because
I
I
mean,
have two of my favorite right off the top of my head.
okay, you got yours. I mean, I would say, God, it's hard to pick, but the augmented piano from Arturia is um that is you basically you have piano sounds and samples that are also blending with like organic effects that are also blending with like synthesizer sounds, and it's all kind of running through effects. So you choose the samples and blend them together and it creates this weird like morphine piano sound that is piano, and I used that a lot on the ambient album. I used it a little bit on the upcoming album as well. And then I think probably effects plugin. I mean, it's like maybe a semi-boring answer, but I think the distressor, I think Empirical Labs through Universal Audio, I believe is what it is. But it's a just a really solid distressor plugin, and I have found that throwing that on at different points in a chain, depending on what you're trying to do, whether it's vocals or other stuff, is a really cool tool.
Okay. I like those. I don't have the piano, but I have to pick it up now. Since
Yeah.
since you mentioned it.
There's a whole series. So there's like augmented brass, augmented strings,
Ooh,
augmented choir, I think,
okay.
and piano.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Well, I'll share my two favorites since you shared yours. I think it's only fair.
It is.
Um, my favorite instrument plugin at the moment is the One Kit Wonder Downbeat drum plugin
Mm-hmm.
because first off, it's got two different snares, which is nice because like we said, variety is the spice of life,
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta have different snares. And out of the box, it's just super clean. And when I need to get an idea down really quickly, I just pull that up, get it out, and there I'm done.
Yeah.
As for my effects plugin, I like the what is it called? The DX site 2. It's a plugin by Joey Sturgis.
Okay.
I got to play around with it a little bit when right before it came out, and it's so fun. I don't
Cool.
even use it for the DCX site too. I don't even use it for drums like it's marketed for.
Mm-hmm.
I use it for my bass guitar
Okay.
because I like the bottom end just resonates a little more and I feel like it gets the oomph that I want it to have.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just not happy with my bass mixes, so I'll throw that on there and it'll fix it right up.
It's really nice when you feel like you start to actually have like a collection of tools that work in a lot of instances, because I feel like for a long time I didn't really just have access or knowledge about the right plugins that I needed, and
Yeah.
the right tools that I needed, and like now I have being able to have access to those is really nice and feels very, it just takes a lot of the headache out of producing things, creating things.
Yeah. 1000%.
even just for demos, like
Yeah,
that's huge.
being able to just have a collection that you're like, okay, let me pull this here, this here, this here, and this here, and there we go. Now I have a decent sounding demo.
Yeah,
Means everything.
yeah. No, I mean, the band's process from the demos of what we used to have to now is crazy because, like, on our first album, we were still demoing things by playing it in a room and just turning a phone recorder on. Like,
Yep.
that was how we were demoing songs, and that was what we would take into the studio to be like, all right, this is like roughly what the song sounds like. Let's get it down. And I'm like, I think about that, and I'm just like, no wonder that we had so many there was such a broad range of like how things turned out, how things could turn out within like what the vision was, because we just didn't take the time to do like a actual demo that was close to how it was supposed to sound. And changing that and doing that now has greatly helped us to actually get things to turn out how we want them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's move on to some semi-rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, as musicians, rapid fire questions become very shortly not rapid fire.
Right.
So let's start with this one. What is something you're still learning about yourself as an artist?
Mm. Yeah, hit me with the deep shit and call it rapid fire. Damn.
Exactly.
Uh,
It's just that's why I called it semi-rapid fire. Okay.
yeah. Okay. I'm always learning about my voice. I think my voice changes every time we record an album, and I don't mean that in a way. It's not in the way of like damaging it, like it just in the way of like you change as a person. There's years of life between. You have kind of like the way that you say things and sing things can just be different. And as like the longer I've sung, the more I've kind of settled into how I feel comfortable singing. And listening to myself on earlier stuff to now is just super different. So I think that's something that I'm just always learning new things about my voice, and like, oh, I can do this, and I didn't think I could do this thing before. Or I thought maybe that like this certain way to do something was the right way, and now I see that it is definitely not. So I would say my voice, I'm always learning, always changing.
Okay. Good. Now, this one is gonna be you got to really think about this one. What is a music trend of the current music industry that you just don't understand?
Okay, that's fun.
I always
Um
go 8-track cassettes. Quit trying to bring them back.
I don't know. I think it depends for 8 track. I feel like it depends on who it is. Oh my god. Uh, for if you don't have video, I have a parrot cat that just appeared on my shoulder. I don't know where she came from.
Hey, it's okay. If I was at home, it would be my cats.
She's like, we're talking about trends right now. Say less. Um, this is Bean, my cat, and she
Hi,
says that
Bean.
she hates okay, I've got it. And this is what Bean's take is as well.
Okay.
But I have noticed, and I almost do like it because it is really funny. But I have noticed that there is this trend with artists of being like, um, here's this song that I wrote for like X reason, like I wrote for my maybe like I wrote, oh, new camera angle, that's sick. Here's this trend of being like, I wrote this for like my dad, or
Yeah.
I wrote this for my ex that I don't talk to anymore, and it's just the most like watered down basic shit you've ever heard. Like
Yes.
there's this one guy that's like on Instagram I keep seeing that's got like an acoustic guitar, and he's barefoot and he's like in a field or something, and it's like, I wrote this song for my dad, and the lyrics are just like, we sat but we never said the things that needed to be said. Like it's just the most like pointless,
That could be anybody.
meaningless. Yeah. And I I don't like to, on one hand, I don't like to talk shit on someone's art that they created if it's like coming from a genuine place, but I think that's the thing, is like I don't feel like it's coming from a genuine place. Um and I think
That's
so that's a
super.
trend that I hate, is kind of that, like, this song is about X thing and I am spoon feeding it to you because you're such a stupid little internet baby that you can't handle any sort of like nuance or subtlety or artistic vision. So I'm going to just plainly state the exact thing that there's this other one, which is like, this is, I actually just really enjoy it because I think it's funny, but it's terrible. Is there's this song from this guy that's like, I'm married. It's like he's straight, but he has a crush on a guy that he's never met, but he's telling his wife about it, his straight wife. But he's saying like, I'm not gonna cheat on you. I'm not. Just so you know, I'm not gay. I'm not even bi, but I have a crush on this guy. And I'm like, did that need to be a song? Like,
No, I don't think so.
yeah, it's just a very like, it's a very performative, like, look, I'm a little bit gay, but like not enough to where my wife's gonna leave me. So don't worry. Like, just like that sort of thing. It feels like it's very I don't know. I feel like, why is that in my feed? Like, I would rather hear from somebody that has some actual like legitimate stuff to talk about, maybe a complicated relationship that they have, or a complicated feeling that they have, or they're struggling with maybe their sexuality is changing. I would way rather hear from somebody that's like, I'm legitimately saying this, than just like somebody that's trying to do a TikTok dance to their own song.
Yeah. Man, I don't know how many times I've seen the feed where it's like I wrote this song and they don't even realize that it was about them, and
Yeah.
they're always in a car.
Yeah.
90% of the time in the car. I'm
Yep.
like, can we do this somewhere else? Like,
Yeah, the car thing
do it
gets
in a
pretty
Walmart.
exhausting. And I think along the same line of the car thing, I'm gonna make sure that, okay, is this the angle we're going with? I'm gonna make sure I've got a camera angle on me so y'all can, oh, we're back here. Um metal vocalist, stop. I'm gonna look at you. Stop fucking doing vocal covers in your car. I don't want to hear your fucking Chelsea Grin vocal cover of you screaming over your stereo anymore. I'm all done. I've seen enough. No one wants to hire you because of that.
It
Please
was
stop.
cool for a little bit. Now it's annoying.
And also, more so, furthermore, please stop doing things like covering Havana or a fucking like Louis Capaldi song in your studio where you're just doing deathcore vocals over a pop track and you're like, oh, check out my Sabrina Carpenter cover. I'm through. I'm through with it. That's what I have to say about that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, the it was cool for a little bit, but it got oversaturated way too quickly.
Yeah.
It's okay to do something once or twice, but if that becomes your whole, you know, for a lack of a better word, internet personality,
Yeah.
you, you're gonna annoy the shit out of people.
There was a time period where I was like, if I have to see one more deathcore guy screaming beast vocal cover by the Acacia Strain in his Buick, I will drive into a lake.
And then you can do a cover while you're
While it sinks.
while
Yeah.
it's singing.
just just hitting the Vincent Bennett screams while it goes under.
Man,
What a way to die.
I know, right?
It's really beautiful.
There, yeah, those two trends. I haven't even seen them, and I haven't seen them in a while, fortunately. But the you know what's another trend that I've started to see recently? Some like famous TikTok or Instagram reel or whatever gets stitched with the music right after it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like somebody they'll be driving, their bike, and then they'll hit a sign and it'll go clink, and then they'll start the music.
Yeah. I've seen a few of those too. And I'm like, okay.
We're starting to become a little oversaturated with that now.
Yeah, there's just a lot of I feel like there's a lot of things I see where I'm like I don't care if this does get me into another market or audience. I think the cost of me looking stupid from doing that is not worth having a few extra fans that listen to my music. Um God damn, yeah. Some of it's just like, what are you doing? Also, let a song breathe. That's another thing. Like
Yeah.
people fucking like covered the metalcore covers of Stick Season by Noah Kahn. I'm like, can you just let that be a song for maybe like 5 years before you decide to immediately turn it into some shitty metalcore production? Like, just why do we got to cover everything right away? I understand it's like, oh, this is a hot buzzing song right now. We need to like do a cover of it and it'll help get us engagement. But I'm like, I don't want to hear this version of this. Maybe I just don't want to hear like a shitty metalcore like Our Last Night cover of anything anymore. That might be what it is.
Hey, Our Last Night is no long. I think they're no longer touring.
Maybe there is a God, actually. I take it all back. I don't know them personally. Maybe they're nice, but I I'm just like, that's such an interesting way to make a career, to make a music career.
Well, it's so sad because everybody's like, oh, it's the metal cover guys, but their original music is actually good.
Yeah, they just yeah became known for that. I had I had somebody hit me up. I don't remember if it was like a it might have been like somebody trying to work with us for like promotion, like marketing or something.
Yeah.
One of those just cold emails that a band gets, and they were like, "We've worked with similar bands to you, such as Our Last Night," and I was like, "Hello, can you not can you not lead with comparing my band to Our Last Night? That would be awesome."
That's wild. I
Yeah,
wouldn't even compare you to
thank you so much.
remotely the same.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, it just felt like somebody was like, "Oh, this band has screaming and guitars and so does this band, so we're going to group them in together."
People do that.
Sometimes I tend to get a little bit more like offended than I need to by somebody comparing my band to something that I consider as cringe. Like uh we got asked to open on a show for the guy from Mushroom Head's side project,
Which one?
and A Killer's Confession.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a new one, isn't it?
yeah, I was like, do you think I think I replied, I was like, do you think that we would be a good fit? Like, do you think that people that like my band want to come see Mushroom Head guy?
I mean, I would, but I have a different
Fuck, we
question.
should have done it.
I know exactly. See, you missed an opportunity for me to come see you.
Yep. I'm missing all these opportunities. I'm missing the opportunity to open for A Killer's Confession. I'm
That's such a strange,
yeah.
really. I wouldn't even think to put you guys with Waylon Revis of Mushroom Head. That's not even like even remotely in the same like.
Have you ever played Resident Evil 7 like Biohazard?
Yeah, I love that game.
Waylon Revis sounds like he would be a character in that. Like, fuck, I got to go down to the basement and fight the mutated version of Waylon Revis.
Man, that is spot on though.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I
You know
know.
what? I'm gonna go and do like an edit of one of the monsters and just have Waylon Revis's voiceover.
Turns out he played him. He did the voice for it.
Dude, I found out the other day that the dude from Faith No More, crap, I never remember his name, did the voice of one of the cores from Portal 2.
What a niche. What a niche thing.
He did that. Mike Patton. I don't know why I always forget his name,
Mm-hmm.
but he did that from Portal 2, and then he did zombies in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
That's he must just be like, yeah, he must just be a huge fan of that stuff and gotten connected to the industry somehow. And they're like, yeah, you want to play a zombie? I could see that happening. I guess that's interesting.
Oh, and he did the voice of the Darkness from The Darkness and The Darkness 2.
He got the leading role for that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
it gets even better. He's the Bionic Commando in the reboot of Bionic Commando from 2009.
damn. So he really he's hitting all the different roles.
The last game he was in was a uh PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Windows game called Edge of Twilight: Return to Glory.
Okay, that sounds not good.
Um,
That's a Chat GPT named game right there.
yeah, it was released on iOS in 2013.
Oh, okay. I don't think that we had Chat GPT 2013.
The,
Simpler times.
the game didn't it looks like the game didn't even make it out.
All right, whoever makes games out there, I will replace Mike Patton for the person from a band that does gaming spots. Just hit me up. If you want me to be in the next Mass Effect game, just let me know.
Dude, that'd be pretty sick.
I would like it. I would do it. I was actually thinking the other day, it's probably got to be pretty sick to just like go into a studio and you've got all the lines, or maybe you're just at home doing it at your own home studio. You've got all the lines that you read and you just do them, hit a bunch of lines, and then eventually you're in a video game.
Yeah. Dude, you know the voice of Beast Boy, Greg Kipes?
Yes.
Dude's a super hippie. But he's got his own little recording booth. Right next to his recording booth is like a one-person sauna in his
Oh,
little condo. And then he said, what I like to do is after I get done doing that, I go hop in the sauna for like 30 minutes. Then I open my back door, hop over my little rail, and run out to the water on the beach because he lives right on Venice Beach.
so he's doing like a semi cold plunge type thing. Like not exactly, but like he's hitting the different temperature. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And he goes, instead of praise God, he goes, praise dog.
Praise dog. Huh.
I think he genuinely he can come in he can come on this podcast and correct me if I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
I think he genuinely believes that his dog is a higher power.
I mean, maybe he will come on the podcast. He comes on, he's already in the sauna.
Dude,
His camera goes on live in the sauna.
if he did that, that would be like the best episode ever. Just so
That's
ridiculous.
that's crazy.
Man is a he is working on curing his Parkinson's
Okay.
with all the little stuff.
The what like tinctures? Tinctures?
Yeah, the like ancient monk techniques and the
Okay.
herbs and the crystals and stuff.
You know what? Hell yeah. I hope that he does.
I hope he figures it out because
Yeah.
I like him. He's cool.
You know, I feel like if somebody, maybe this is again a cynical take, but I feel like if somebody were to discover like that they could cure that, for example, they're like Parkinson's, they're like, yeah, I completely wiped clear of Parkinson's from doing all of this like extensive list of things. I feel like there are so many people that would be they would just not want to go through the work to do it. Like if it wasn't just like an easy, like you take this one thing that you inject in yourself and you're good. There are a lot of people out there that would just rather not do it if it was like that extensive of a list of stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You got to get the sauna, you got to jump into the Venice Beach
Exactly.
ocean.
Specifically the ocean off of Venice Beach, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it, Santa Monica, You're not going to get any benefits.
I've been to Venice Beach before. I thought it was pretty cool, but I hear that that is like not like local people will be like that's not the one. Don't go to that one. But
Yeah, I always
I
hear
liked it.
local people hate that one too.
Yeah, I got really high and watched the tide come in and out around my hands as I stuck it in the sand.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good time to me.
it was a life changing trip.
Good.
I think every time I've been in California, it's changed my life either for the better or worse.
That sounds about right. Tends to be how that goes with people.
Yeah,
Now, I have to ask, since we brought up Resident Evil, first off, have you played the new one yet?
I haven't played the new one. No,
I have not either.
I hear only good things. I think.
I heard good things, and then I heard not as good, but still kind of good things.
Okay,
Like
sounds
everybody
promising.
loves Leon's part.
Uh huh.
Everybody likes the first part of Grace's parts. And then they're like, it's okay afterwards.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Resident Evil game though?
Mm. Um.
Mine is six because you get to punch the boulder.
All right. Fuck yeah.
Purely that
Um.
reason, then that reason alone.
I think the I think two and three, especially the remakes of two and three, um, are really really fun to play. Is two the one that has Mr. X, like
Yeah,
the big guy in the hat?
yeah,
Um, I was just talking to somebody the other day about how like that initial introduction to him. I think he breaks through a wall or something.
yeah.
It's whatever it is. It's like very abrupt and sudden. Like it's just such an effective. Um, that scared me so much, and I had been playing horror games for a pretty long time. I didn't play that game till I was like in my mid 20s. Um, so I think probably two is probably two or three would be the ones that I like the most. I actually haven't played four though, which I hear is a lot of people's favorite. So I'm
I
a
always
fake
hear that.
fan. Um, so maybe I need to play that, and then maybe that would change my decision. I
Well,
think five, while it's like weird and there's definitely some problems with it, like it's oddly nostalgic for me because that was one that I did play closer to when it actually came out originally.
yeah,
But it's a lot more of like the action, like they were trying to do the blockbuster action version of the game.
yeah. And then we got six.
Mm-hmm. You punch the boulder.
The easily the best scene in the entire franchise. That boulder will forever be scared of anybody with fists.
That boulder to me is the vocalists that do the car vocal covers.
I love it. Well, I have some this or that questions for you.
Okay.
So, I looked up this or that for certain post-hardcore bands, and then I have some this or that for not bands specifically, but just some post-hardcore things, because
Okay.
why not?
Okay.
So, I'm gonna start with the bands. We're gonna do
Uh-huh.
some of these aren't really post-hardcore in my opinion, but we'll take it as it is.
So I'm just choosing one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dance Gavin Dance or Pierce the Veil.
Pierce the veil.
Okay. Sleeping with Sirens or Of Mice and Men.
Sleeping with sirens.
Okay. Old Of Mice and Men or New Of Mice and Men.
Um, I'm gonna say new because I think they have the Jamie's Elsewhere guy now and not the guy that was like creepy, right? Not
Yeah.
Austin Carlisle. Yeah. But I
I
don't listen to it.
Fair enough. I did like their new record though. It's definitely not post-hardcore though.
Yeah. And it's got the Jamie's Elsewhere guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll listen to it. I liked Jamie's Elsewhere when I was, I don't know, fucking 14.
Yeah. Seosin or Circa Survive.
Ooh, I'm gonna say Seosin.
I would too.
That's hard, but I'm gonna say Seosin just because I think the more times that I listen to Circa Survive, I start to get tired of the like,
Yeah.
and Seosin has a little bit, it's a little bit more, especially because it's not all Anthony Green. It's a little bit more like easy to return to it for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Under Oath or The Devil Wears Prada?
Mm, um,
Let's do
that
old versions of both the bands.
okay. Um, I'm gonna have to just go Under Oath purely based on that. I connected with that way more at the time than I
Okay.
did with Devil Wears Prada. Um, and I do think like Define the Great Line, They're Only Chasing Safety, Lost in the Sound is just like that's such a solid run of albums.
Wholeheartedly agree. Now, new Under Oath or new Devil Wears Prada?
For that, I would say New Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I really like their new album. I think it's called Flowers, if I remember correctly.
I think Devil Wears Prada has done kind of like a similar thing to what Under Oath has done in sort of like commercializing their sound and like trying to like modernize it and stay up with trends. But I think that they've done it in a way that feels to me a little more genuine and a little more interesting than how Under Oath has done it.
Yeah. Ooh, Silverstein or Senses Fail?
Census Fail.
Okay, okay. Um, Alexis on Fire or Thrice?
Thrice.
Okay. A Day to Remember or Beartooth?
A Day to Remember.
Is that now if we were doing old versions versus new versions, would you say A Day to Remember for both or
I would just because the Beartooth Punishers immediately ruined Beartooth any like chance that I had to like it because I was just having to listen to people talk about Beartooth around the clock and I was like, I don't care. Um, so I would say A Day to Remember, even though they are pretty cringy. I would in a lot of ways I would have to go with A Day to Remember.
okay. Chiodos or Emarosa?
Cheetos.
Okay, good. Um, Johnny Craig Dance Gavin Dance or Johnny Craig Emarosa?
Oh, I guess Dance Gavin Dance.
Okay.
I suppose.
Pre-Tillian Dance Gavin Dance or Tillian era onward Dance Gavin Dance?
I think like I'm gonna say just because I've heard just a lot of not great things about him. Like going from that perspective, I feel like the era before is probably better. Um, but like, there's not. It would be dumb to pretend like he's not a very skilled singer and
Yeah,
skilled vocalist. And most of the songs that I ever did listen to by them, for the most part, were Tillian era.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got some non-band this or that questions for you.
Okay.
Clean vocals or unclean vocals?
Clean.
Okay. Breakdown or melodic chorus?
Melodic chorus.
Okay. Ambient intro or straight into it?
Ambient intro.
Okay. 2000s post-hardcore or modern post-hardcore?
2000s.
Of course.
Yes.
Emotional lyrics or aggressive energy?
Emotional lyrics.
Okay. Studio polish or raw production?
Raw production.
Okay. Guitar riffs or ambient guitar textures?
Ambient guitar textures.
Okay. Scream chorus or clean chorus?
Clean chorus.
Okay. Screamed verse or combination?
Combination.
Okay. Okay. I like that. All great answers. I would have chosen probably most of the same things, except which one was it? I would have probably said Dance Gavin Dance over Pierce the Veil. but that's just me.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, I've got one more band one for you.
Okay.
Pierce the Veil or Sleeping with Sirens.
Um, I don't know. I think the like I'm gonna say Sleeping with Sirens because I I would make fun of that first major album, like the breakout album, so often when I was younger because it was always in my head and it was always catchy, even if I didn't want to admit it because I was like, I'm cool and I don't like poser bands. So I'm gonna have to say Sleeping with Sirens because it was way more on my radar than what Pierce the Veil was doing at the time, even though they're still for sure talented.
Oh yeah. Well, those are about all the questions I have for you. I just have a few more to round out our podcast episode here.
Yeah,
And the first one is new music that you can share. Let's hear about it. What do you got to
yeah.
share with me?
As far as like what we're doing musically,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you can share that you are talking about, you know.
Yeah, we have an album that our follow up to our last full length album. Our last full length album came out in 2022. Since then, we've done standalone singles and like a 3-track ambient project. So it's time for a new album, and we have been working on it and reworking it and rewriting songs. And we've had kind of a couple people come and go in the process of creating it, which has also, changed the sound and changed the process. But I really, really believe in the lineup of people that we have now, that we've had for about the last year. And we are done with the recording portion of it. And we're just kind of in the final stages of getting it ready to be sent off for mixing. So there will be a full length Careful Gaze album in the fall is what I would believe, based on timelines and stuff. And it's definitely it's the more extremes of everything you've heard from the band in the past. It's the more extreme ends of all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that coming out, and we'll be doing touring, hopefully pretty extensive touring, around the time that that comes out too.
Well, I'm excited for it, my man.
Yeah.
Well, I also have to ask shows that you can share with us.
We don't have anything booked right now, except for our friends in Iowa's band that we've known for a long time. They're breaking up, so we're playing their farewell show. I don't think that's technically announced, so I won't say who it is or when it is, but it's sometime in the fall as well. And then we'll
Okay.
be we'll be booking a release show and everything once we know kind of like the date that the album is coming out.
Okay. I like that. Well, two last questions. First, plug your band, plug yourself, and shout out the people you want to shout out.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think I have a Blue Sky that I'm locked out of, because I never really used it. Um, you can follow us on TikTok, but I have it uninstalled from my phone right now because it was pissing me off. But it is at Careful Gaze on everything. Um, I'm at Gabriel Reasoner on everything. If you want to follow me and follow along with what I've been up to, I'm going to be doing some solo work and some collabs with more people too. So that will be on there. And I would just say, really honestly, like shout out to Bailey, Cody, Lars, and Aslan, my bandmates. They are all they have worked so hard to help create this album that we are finishing, and have worked so hard to like make our show good. And we had a lot of crazy experiences together touring around the last year. So I am very grateful for them and excited to see what we can do together.
Absolutely. Well, I have one last question for you, my friend, and that is what song of your band do you want to have as the outro track for the episode?
Ooh, let's do Jackfruit.
Let's do it. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on, my dude. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming on. You guys know what to do. Follow Gabe, follow the band, like, subscribe, follow whatever other things on the up or the down or the left or the right. They're somewhere.
Yep.
But yeah, give give Careful Gazes music a listen. I know you guys are gonna love it. And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye,
Thanks,
everybody.
y'all.
This has been Mullins Over Music Podcast, episode 94, with your host, producer, and editor. That's me, Austin Mullins. Special thanks to guest Gabriel Reisner of Careful Gaze. The closing track is Jack's Fruit, featuring Maury, by Careful Gaze. You can find Gabe at Gabriel Reisner and Careful Gaze at Careful Gaze on the socials. And be on the lookout for the new LP as they release new information about it. They did just finish recording that too long ago. Thanks to Gabe for coming on to chat and being so patient while waiting on the episode to come out. I really appreciate you. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can check out the Patreon at the link in the description for behind the scenes, early episodes, and extra content I know you'll enjoy. Or you can just hit a like, subscribe, follow, whatever you want to do. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to viewers like you. Thank you, and until next time.